The fall into the tangles. Tyler's ship was falling, fast. Alarms screamed in his ears. Flames sparked across the screen. The planet below spun wildly as he gripped the controls with shaking hands. "Stabilize," he shouted. "Come on, just a little more." But the system didn't listen. He had lost engine power and the backup thrusters were failing too. The ship roared through the alien sky like a shooting star. Seconds later, everything went black. When Tyler opened his eyes, he was on the ground. Smoke floated above him. His head ached. His suit was covered in dirt and strange yellow dust. Trees stretched above, tall and glowing, their leaves shining like soft blue fire. He coughed and sat up slowly. "I'm alive." He looked around. His escape pod was crushed against a tree trunk. Pieces of metal lay scattered in the grass. The main comm system was broken. No signal. No help. He checked his arm monitor. Oxygen levels, stable. Suit pressure, stable, but no contact with Earth. "Great," he muttered. Stranded on a mystery planet. He grabbed his gear pack and started walking. The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. No birds. No wind. Just silence. Then he heard something, soft. Like breathing. He turned fast. No one was there. He walked deeper. The plants grew thicker, taller. Some looked like giant soft ropes, stretching from tree to tree. One of them brushed against his face. It felt like silk. That's when it happened. His foot caught on something and he fell straight into a soft, tangled web. He struggled, twisting. What is this? It was like falling into a pile of feathers and vines at the same time, except they were wrapping around him, moving on their own. He panicked. "Let go. Get off me." He pulled out his knife, but before he could cut, the web tightened. Something moved, a shape, a shadow, and then he heard a voice. Soft, calm, female. "Why are you inside me?" Tyler froze. He turned his head slowly and saw her. An alien girl. She was tall, taller than any human he'd seen. Her skin was light blue, glowing softly in the shade. Her eyes were large and golden, watching him with deep curiosity. But the most shocking thing wasn't her size. It was her hair. Her hair flowed across the ground, around the trees, through the grass, longer than any hair should be. It moved like water wrapping around Tyler's arms, legs, and chest. It was her hair that had caught him. Her expression was unreadable. Not angry, not afraid, just interested. "I don't understand," Tyler said. "I didn't mean to. Your hair. It caught me." She tilted her head. "It protects me. You moved like a threat. So it trapped you." "I'm not a threat," he said quickly. "I'm human. I crashed here. I'm just trying to survive." The girl blinked slowly. Then her hair loosened, just slightly. "Human," she repeated. "From the sky." "Yes," Tyler said, breathing hard. "Please don't crush me." "I won't," she said, "unless you lie." "I'm not lying." The hair around his legs uncoiled. He felt like he could move again, but just barely. "I've never seen your kind," she said. "I've never seen yours either," he replied. "You live here?" She nodded once. "Alone? Far from the others?" "Others? My kind. They live deep in the cliffs. I stay in the forest. It's safer." Tyler looked at the hair still wrapped around his wrist. It was soft, warm, almost like it was alive. "What are you?" he asked gently. "I am Lyra," she said. "And you are?" "Tyler." The hair released his chest. He sat up slowly, still tangled at the knees. "I didn't mean to fall into you," he said. "I thought it was part of the jungle." Lyra studied him for a moment. Then she smiled. "Just a little. My hair grows where I rest. It protects the ground, the air, and me." "You stepped on it." "It wasn't marked." "It doesn't need to be," she said. It knows. Tyler looked around. Her hair really was everywhere, wrapped through trees, floating in pools of water, even glowing along the rocks. He was surrounded and very much at her mercy. So, he said slowly, "What happens now?" She took a slow step closer. "You stay," she said calmly, "until I decide you are safe." Tyler blinked. "You mean I'm still trapped?" She nodded. "You are in my hair and it listens to me." He looked down. The strands wrapped around his legs squeezed gently, not painfully, but firmly. He swallowed. This was not going to be a normal rescue mission. The girl and the strands. Tyler had never felt so powerless. He had faced storms in space, nearly crashed into moons, and once been caught in a ship fire, but being tied, up in living alien hair held at the feet of a quiet, glowing alien girl was something else entirely. Lyra stood calmly in front of him. Her golden eyes didn't blink often. Her face showed little emotion, but her presence was overwhelming. Her hair was everywhere, soft silver strands glowing faintly, wrapping around trees, rocks, even floating in the shallow water nearby. The way it moved without wind, the way it responded to her thoughts, it was alive in ways Tyler couldn't explain. "You're not going to hurt me, right?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Lyra tilted her head. "If I wanted to hurt you, you'd already be gone. Good point." She stepped closer. The strands around his arms loosened slightly, letting him move his hands. But they didn't let go completely. He could feel them brushing his skin, light as feathers but firm as rope. "I've never seen anything like this," he said softly. "Your hair. It moves like it has a mind of its own." "It does," she replied. "It listens to me. It reacts to others. It's part of me." "How long is it?" Lyra looked down and then across the clearing. "It goes where I go. I don't cut it. My people believe every strand holds memory, life, feeling." Tyler blinked. "Your people?" She nodded. "The Hilari. We lived high in the cliff cities once. Before the war. Before the harvesters came." "Harvesters?" She sat down on a moss-covered rock, her hair folding beneath her like a blanket. The strands around Tyler adjusted to keep him facing her. "They came from the stars. Machines. Not like you. No voice, no face. They wanted our hair, our bodies, to study, to use." Tyler's stomach turned. "They hunted you?" Lyra nodded slowly. "Many of us died. Some escaped underground. I ran to the forest. I connected with the roots, hid in the trees. My hair grew to protect me." Tyler looked around. "And now you live alone?" She didn't answer. Instead, her eyes focused on him. "What were you doing here? Why fall from the sky?" "My ship malfunctioned," Tyler said. "It wasn't supposed to land here. I'm an engineer. I was heading to a research base on a nearby moon. I got pulled off course. Landed hard." Lyra's expression didn't change, but her hair began to retract slowly, just a little. The strands pulled away from his chest, then his arms, leaving only his legs wrapped. She stood again and walked around him, inspecting him carefully. "Your body is small," she said, soft. "Thank you. Yet you carry strength in your words. I guess that's a compliment." "You are lucky my hair didn't crush you," she added. Tyler forced a laugh. "So I've been told." He looked down at the strands around his legs. They weren't squeezing hard, but they weren't letting go either. "I'd really like to stand." Lyra raised a hand. The strands lifted him gently to his feet. He wobbled a bit, then found his balance. "Whoa." "I allow you to move," she said. "But if you run..." Tyler raised both hands. "No running, I promise." The hair loosened, further but stayed wrapped around one ankle. Lyra stepped closer. "You're not afraid of me?" Tyler looked into her strange, glowing eyes. "No," he said. "But I probably should be." She gave the tiniest smile. Then her hair moved again, this time lifting a piece of fruit from a high branch and bringing it to her hand. She took a bite, then held one out to him using a single strand of hair like a silver ribbon. Tyler took it. Thanks. They sat together in silence for a few minutes. Tyler watched the hair around him move with Lyra's emotions, rising gently when she was curious, flattening when she was calm. It was beautiful and terrifying. You said your people could feel through their hair? Yes, Lyra said. Touch is our language. Every strand sends emotion. That's how I knew you were scared when you fell in. And now? She paused. Now you are confused, but calm. He looked down. Your hair? It's still reading me? She nodded. It can feel your heartbeat, your warmth, even your memories if you stay long enough. Tyler blinked. Wait, it can read memories? Sometimes, when the connection is strong. He sat up straighter. That's incredible. It is dangerous, she said. If I touch the wrong memory, I could become lost in it. Tyler was silent for a moment. I'll be careful. Lyra looked at him again, longer this time. You are not like the others I've heard of, the ones who conquer and take. I just fix things, he said. I don't even carry a weapon. Her hair moved around his waist, as if testing his words. Then it loosened more. You may walk, she said softly, but stay close. I wasn't planning on going far. They walked together through the clearing, her hair gliding behind like a silver river, wrapping lightly around Tyler's ankle like a leash, gentle but unbreakable, and somewhere deep in the forest something stirred, something mechanical, watching, waiting. But for now, Tyler was safe, at least as long as he stayed in her strands. Threads of truth. Tyler followed Lyra deeper into the forest, her hair gently guiding his steps. It didn't just trail behind her, it led the way, lit small stones on the ground, pushed aside branches, and even formed bridges over muddy ground. He didn't need a path. Her hair made one for him. It was quiet, peaceful even. But Tyler couldn't stop thinking about what she'd said earlier. My hair stores memory. He didn't understand it fully yet, but he could feel it. Every time one of her strands touched his skin, it was like being scanned by something, gentle but powerful. Eventually, they reached a strange clearing. Thick roots rose from the earth like ancient fingers. In the middle stood a large stone covered in glowing moss. Lyra sat down and her hair spread out in every direction, crawling. Up trees, slipping into the water, resting on the stone like a blanket. Tyler stood awkwardly nearby. So, where are we? Lyra looked up. This is my remembering place. It's where I speak to the past. He tilted his head. You mean, meditate? No. My hair records what I feel, see, and hear. When I sit here, I can let the older strands show me old moments. Happy ones, sad ones, dangerous ones. Tyler slowly sat across from her. And you can play those back? Yes. She picked up a single strand from the stone and held it gently. Her eyes fluttered closed. The strand glowed softly. Then Tyler saw it. The air shimmered and a floating image appeared. Lyra as a child laughing with two others. Her family, maybe. They played near a waterfall, their hair much shorter, glowing in the sunlight. Tyler gasped. That's you? Lyra nodded without opening her eyes. The memory faded. Then another replaced it, this one darker. Screams echoed through the clearing. Strange machines like floating black beetles swarmed the cliffs. Laser lights cut through stone. People ran. Hair strands burned in the fire. Lyra's eyes opened. Her hands were shaking. Tyler leaned forward. Lyra, stop. That looked painful. I didn't mean to show it, she whispered. My hair reacted to your emotion. You were curious. He looked down. Sorry. It's not your fault, she said softly. You are open. My hair listens. Tyler looked around at the thousands of strands surrounding them. Each one held a piece of her story. Each one could hurt or heal. "Lyra," he said gently, "why do you stay here alone?" She looked up. "Because it's safer. When I'm with others, I feel too much. Their pain, their fear, their lies." "And what about me?" he asked. She studied him. "You are quiet inside, like someone hiding from something." Tyler smiled sadly. "Maybe I am." He looked up at the sky. "Back on Earth, I wasn't important. Just an engineer, a fixer. But when I crashed here, I finally felt noticed. By someone." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she whispered, "You are not just seen. You are felt." Her hair moved toward him, gently brushing his shoulder. It was the first time it touched him without restraint. It felt like warmth, like trust. Tyler's breath caught in his chest. "Does this mean you believe me now?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "You are not like those who cut." He raised an eyebrow. "The harvesters?" She nodded. "They only touch to take. You touch to understand." Tyler hesitated. Then slowly, carefully, he reached out and touched one of her strands just with his fingertips. It glowed faintly. No images appeared, just a feeling. Calm, soft, safe. Then, boom, the ground shook. A low rumble echoed from the distant mountains. Lyra stood up fast. Her hair whipped around, scanning the wind. Her eyes narrowed. "Something has landed." Tyler stood too. "Could it be a rescue pod?" "No," she said. "It's heavy, sharp, wrong." Another boom. She closed her eyes and touched the ground with her hair. After a few seconds, she opened them. "They're back." Tyler frowned. "The harvesters?" She nodded. "They came for me once. They failed. Now they return." Her hair tightened around her arms, legs, and waist like armor. Strands lifted into the trees like antennae. Tyler stepped back. "What do we do?" "We hide. We prepare," she said. "And you stay close." Tyler looked out toward the forest edge. "I'm not going anywhere." Lyra looked at him, this time with fear in her eyes. "No," she whispered. "Because if they scan you and find me in your memory, they'll come faster." Tyler's throat tightened. "Then we need a plan." Her hair wrapped around his wrist, firm, but not afraid. "We don't run," she said. Tyler nodded. "We stand." When hair remembers. The forest was no longer calm. Tyler could feel it in the way Lyra moved. Faster, sharper. Her silver hair, which once floated softly around her, now curled like 1,000 alert snakes. Every strand stretched out through, the trees touching bark, sensing footsteps, listening to the wind. "Are they close?" Tyler whispered. Lyra didn't answer right away. She was standing still, her eyes closed, her fingertips brushing a long vine of her own hair that had disappeared into the canopy. Then she nodded once. "Yes. They have landed. Small scouts first. The harvesters always start small. Machines, testing, searching." Tyler checked the scanner on his wrist, but it was jammed with static. Lyra glanced at the screen and said, "Their signal blocks yours. That's how they isolate prey." Tyler swallowed. "How do we stop them?" Lyra sat down beside a tree, with twisted roots. Her hair gathered tightly around her, forming a protective circle. "We don't fight yet," she said. "First, we learn." Tyler joined her. "How?" She held out a strand of hair, one that glowed with a soft violet light. "This one remembers them," she said quietly. He raised an eyebrow. "From the first time they came?" "Yes, but it's dangerous. Some memories hurt more than the wounds they left." Tyler hesitated. "You're going to show me?" Lyra nodded. "You must see what they are, what they do, so you understand why I hide." He reached out and touched the strand gently. It was warm at first, then cold. Suddenly the air changed. The trees faded. The clearing was replaced by blinding red light and roaring engines. His mind filled with screams, not from people but from the forest itself. He saw them, black metal harvesters floating just above the ground, long saw-like arms extending. They didn't speak. They didn't stop. They tore through the cliffs, cutting through stone and skin, dragging Halari villagers by their hair, and Lyra, young, terrified, hiding behind her mother. Her mother pushed her into a pool of hair and said one word, "Remember." Then she was taken. The memory shattered like glass. Tyler gasped and fell backward, his chest heaving. Lyra rushed to him, catching his shoulder. "I told you," she said softly. "My hair doesn't just store the image, it stores the pain." He stared up at her, heart pounding. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't know." "You do now." Her hair curled protectively around them both. "But it didn't break. You," he said. "You survived." "I didn't feel strong," she admitted. "I just kept growing." He looked at her. "You're more than strong. You're still here." Then something crackled in the distance. A soft hum, like static, wrapped in metal. Lyra stood up fast. Her hair rose around her shoulders like armor. "They're scanning." Tyler stood beside her. "What happens if they find us?" "They won't take me again," she said firmly. "They will try, but I'll show them what my hair can really do." She placed her hand on Tyler's chest. "You must stay behind me." He shook his head. "I didn't come all this way to hide." She looked into his eyes. "If they hurt you to find me, I will never forgive myself." "Then we stop them," he said. She hesitated, then gave a slow nod. She turned to the forest, raised both hands, and her hair exploded outward, stretching in every direction, vanishing into the trees. "What are you doing?" Tyler asked. "Calling." "The old strands, the ones buried deep, the ones that remember fire and fury." She touched the ground, and the moss around her began to rise, her hair hidden under the earth, answering her call. "This forest is not just where I live," she said. "It is my memory." Then she looked at Tyler. "But I need your help." "Anything," he said. She held out a piece of metal, part of his broken ship. "I need you to build something," she said. "A pulse disruptor. Your technology and my strands can combine." Tyler took it. "You think we can block their scan?" "Not just block it," she said. "Turn it back on them." He nodded, already scanning his wrist display, connecting wires to living strands that glowed and twitched under his touch. For hours they worked, combining human engineering and Halari biology into something new. And when it was finished, Lyra smiled for the first time since the memory. "Now," she said, "let them come." But far above them, high in the dark sky, one of the harvesters had locked on to something unusual. A pulse. Faint. Not Halari. Human. And it began its descent. The ones who cut. The sky above the forest turned gray. The clouds didn't move like normal. They twisted in slow circles, unnaturally silent. Birds flew away. Even the insects vanished. The jungle held its breath. Tyler looked up from the device they had built, half machine, half living strand. His fingers trembled as he tightened the last circuit. "They're here," he said. Lyra stood on a tall root nearby, her eyes focused on the sky. Her hair had wrapped around half the clearing, forming spirals, nets, shields. "It's not just a scout," she said. "It's one of the big ones. A cutter." Tyler had heard that word before. From her memory. "The ones who slice through stone," he whispered. Lyra nodded. "And through us." They didn't wait long. From the sky the black ship fell like a spear. It didn't roar. It hummed. When it hit the ground beyond the trees, it didn't explode. It settled, sending a shockwave through the forest floor. Leaves fell like rain. Tyler and Lyra ducked low. "Activate it now," she said. Tyler slammed his hand on the disruptor. The device lit up with a soft blue glow. Strands of Lyra's hair wrapped around it. pulsing with life. Together it sent a silent ripple through the air, a wave meant to jam the harvester's scan. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the cutter moved. It began slicing trees, not with blades, but with thin beams of white light. Quiet, fast, efficient. Each beam marked a scan. It was feeling the jungle, looking for her. "It's trying to guess where I am," Lyra said. "Is the disruptor working? It's confusing it, but it won't last forever." The harvester stopped moving. Then it changed shape. A hatch opened at its bottom and 6 smaller bots dropped out. Each one landed on long, spider-like legs, silent, their eyes glowing red. "They're not scanning anymore," Tyler said. "No," Lyra whispered. "They're hunting." The first bot moved toward the clearing. Tyler stepped back. Lyra's hair shifted, silently weaving into the ground. When the bot stepped onto a smooth patch of moss, the trap snapped shut. Strands wrapped around its legs, pulled it upward, and crushed it mid-air without a sound. The others paused, but only for a second. Then they charged. Tyler ducked as one leapt at him, metal claws wide. Lyra's hair intercepted it mid-jump, slamming it into a tree. Another bot made it past. It lunged toward Lyra. She turned, her hair forming a shield in front of her, but the bot didn't attack her. It attacked Tyler. "Get down," Lyra shouted. He dropped, just as the bot's claws slashed through the air where his head had been. Lyra's hair wrapped around the machine and crushed it, harder than before. Then she ran to Tyler. "Are you hurt?" she asked. "No," he gasped. "But why did it go after me?" She looked down. Her expression was cold. "They scanned you after all." "But the jammer, they scanned your memories," she said. "Not mine. You let them in when you touched my strand earlier. They saw me. Through you." Tyler's heart pounded. "So this is my fault?" "No," she said, standing tall. "It's mine. I let you stay close." A loud clang echoed through the forest. The main harvester had moved. It was coming for them now. Trees fell as it pushed forward, its cutting beams activated again, brighter this time. It had found its target. Lyra stood in front of Tyler, her hair raised like waves before a storm. "I'm done running," she said. "This time, I cut back." She reached toward the disruptor and twisted one of the metal panels. "What are you doing?" Tyler asked. "I'm overloading the pulse. It will blind them, but only for a few minutes. And after that?" She looked at him. "Then we fight." The pulse activated with a deep hum. The light spread out in a wave, blue and silver, flowing through the trees like wind made of stars. The harvester paused. Its lights blinked. The smaller bots froze. They were blind. Now was their only chance. Lyra moved like lightning. Her hair turned into weapons, sharp, fast, alive. Strands cut through bots like blades. Others formed barriers, slamming the cutters backward, smashing them into each other. Tyler watched in awe. She wasn't just fighting. She was commanding the entire forest. A wall of silver blocked the harvester's path, then pierced its side. The machine shuddered. Lyra stepped forward. Her hair grabbed hold of the core, deep inside the black metal. With one motion, she ripped it out. The harvester let out a low screech, then exploded into sparks. Silence followed. Tyler stood up, still breathing hard. "It's over," he said, but Lyra didn't move. Her hair drooped, then fell to the ground. She dropped to her knees. "Lyra!" He rushed to her. She was awake, but weak. "Too much," she whispered. "It drained me. You saved us." "No," she said. "I saved you." Then her hair wrapped softly around him, like a protective hug. "I don't want to lose you," she whispered. He held her hand. "You won't." The hair fights back smoke rose into the jungle sky. The wreckage of the harvester lay in pieces. Metal burned slowly. Sparks flickered in the tall grass. The clearing that once held peace was Now a battlefield, but the danger wasn't over. Tyler sat beside Lyra, who was weak and pale. Her long silver hair, once bright and flowing, now lay flat and dim like it had lost its life. "Lyra," he whispered, "you need to rest. You gave everything." She opened her eyes slowly. "I can't stop yet," she said. "The machines never come alone." He looked toward the edge of the trees. There, beyond the smoke, shapes moved. Tall, sharp, cold. Another ship. Sleeker. Bigger. Not a scout. A collector-class drone carrier. "They sent reinforcements," Tyler said. "They want you badly." Lyra tried to stand but stumbled. Tyler caught her before she fell. "You can't fight them again. Not like this." She looked into his eyes. "I don't have to do it alone." Tyler worked fast. He gathered broken parts from the first harvester, circuit plates, energy cores, fragments of steel arms. He linked them to the disruptor's power source and tied them together with pieces of Lyra's still living strands. Her hair moved slowly now, sluggish but obedient. She sat beside him, weak but focused, her fingers weaving small strands into the wiring. "Hair is more than memory," she whispered. "It can transmit feeling, direction, even instinct." Tyler nodded. "Then I'll help guide it." They worked in silence, building something new, not just a weapon, a connection. Minutes later, the new enemy ship began to open. Its sides split into 3 wide doors, and from within came long, floating drones, each one armed with cutters, scanners, and capture cables. They moved in perfect lines, no emotion, no mercy. Tyler stood up. "We're out of time." Lyra looked at him. "I'll fight, but I need your rhythm." He stared. "What?" "Your heartbeat, your mind. I can't control my hair fully now, but if I link to you, it will move when you do." He hesitated. "What if I make a mistake?" "Then we make it together," she said, her hair wrapped around his hands, chest, and head, not to trap, but to connect. Tyler gasped. He felt it, her thoughts, her pain, her fear, her strength, and underneath it, all is her trust in him. "I'm ready," he whispered. She gave a small nod. "Then move." The drones entered the clearing. Tyler stepped forward, and Lyra's hair moved with him. When he raised his arm, a whip of silver lashed out and snapped a drone in 2. When he ducked, strands curled into a shield, blocking a laser shot. He ran left. Hair followed, sweeping up leaves and launching them like razors. The drones fired. He rolled. A curtain of glowing strands blocked the shot. He didn't need to think. He just felt. Lyra was with him, inside his rhythm, trusting his body to move where her power needed to go. One drone tried to charge from behind. He spun. The hair extended outward like a wave and slammed it against a tree. Another tried to rise into the air. He pointed upward. The hair shot high, wrapped around its engine and yanked it back to the ground. Hard. More came. Faster. Stronger. But Tyler didn't stop. He leapt, dodged, ran, and fought, and she fought with him. At the center of the enemy ship, a final unit prepared, larger than the others. A collector core unit designed to trap living species in paralysis fields and extract biosignals. It locked onto Tyler. Lyra's hair twitched. She felt it. She whispered, "Behind you." Tyler turned. Too late. The collector unit fired. A green pulse hit his chest and he fell, frozen, breathing, aware, but unable to move. "Tyler," Lyra cried. He couldn't reply. He could only watch. The collector moved closer, scanning. Lyra's hair trembled, weak, unfocused. Then she stood, her body shook. Her breath was shallow, but she walked toward Tyler, her eyes locked on the collector unit. "You don't get to take him," she whispered, and her hair rose like fire. Not calm, not controlled, wild. It stormed across the ground, wrapping around the collector, crushing its legs, breaking its sensors. It fired again. She blocked it with her chest. She screamed in pain, but didn't fall. Her hair tightened until the unit cracked, sparked, and collapsed into a broken heap. Then she dropped beside Tyler. Her hands touched his chest. Her hair flowed over his heart. "I'm here," she whispered. His fingers twitched. He moved, then he gasped and sat up. "Lyra." She fell into his arms. "I didn't let you go," she whispered. "I know," he said. He held her tight. The last drone sparked once, then went silent. Later, as the forest calmed, Tyler lay beside Lyra under the trees. The stars returned. The wind was soft again. She was quiet, but alive. Her hair slowly began to glow once more. Tyler brushed a strand from her face. "You didn't just fight back," he said. "You came back stronger." She looked at him and smiled. "You gave me rhythm, the bond in the strands." Morning light broke through the trees. The forest, once torn by battle and fire, was quiet again. Sunlight danced across leaves and soft wind carried the scent of fresh earth. Birds returned. The jungle was breathing, and so was Lyra. She lay peacefully beneath the wide canopy, her body still, her silver hair stretched around her like a giant nest. The glow had returned, faint at first but stronger with every minute. Tyler sat beside her, his arm resting gently against her side. He watched her, and for once, didn't speak. She had saved him, fought for him, trusted him, and now he waited for her. A soft movement, her eyes opened slowly, golden, calm, alive. Tyler leaned forward. "You're awake." "I'm here," she whispered. "Did we win?" He smiled. "You did more than win. You stopped them. Again." She looked around. Her hair moved lazily, like it was stretching after a long sleep. "No more harvesters?" she asked. "Not now," Tyler said, "and not for a long time. Your signal jam fried their scanners. They won't risk another loss." Lyra sat up slowly. "But what about you? You didn't leave." "I couldn't," he said simply. "I couldn't leave you." She stared at him. "You had the chance." "I didn't want it." Her hair moved gently, brushing against his hand. "You've changed," she said. "Your touch is clearer, softer. Maybe your hair just got used to me." "Maybe you stopped hiding," she replied. Tyler chuckled. "Maybe I did." Later that day, Tyler climbed the nearby ridge to set up his last working signal beacon. He pressed a button, and a light blinked slowly, calling out to any passing ship. Help was finally coming. He stood quietly, watching the jungle below. He could see the trails of silver hair weaving through the trees, marking Lyra's sanctuary, and he realized something. He wasn't trapped anymore. He was tied, not by force, but by choice. Lyra joined him a few minutes later, barefoot, calm. Her hair moved slowly behind her, wrapping loosely around branches as she walked. "I saw your beacon," she said. "You're ready to leave?" He looked down. "I called for pickup, but I don't know if I want to go." She was quiet. Then, she said, "You don't have to stay for me." "I know," Tyler said. "I'd stay for me." She looked surprised. He added, "I was a nobody back on Earth, just a systems tech. But here, I helped someone. I mattered." Lyra stepped closer. "You matter without saving anyone." He looked at her. "So do you." Her hair lifted slowly, wrapping around his wrist. Not to trap, not to pull, just to hold, like fingers laced in fingers. She said, "I was alone before you came. Even my own memories were too much. But you stayed even after seeing them." He smiled. "I guess your hair didn't scare me as much as it should have." "I guess your heart didn't either." They stood in silence, her hair lightly curling around his shoulder. Then the signal beacon beeped. A ship was coming. Lyra looked up at the sky. You're going. Tyler turned to her. Not without you. She looked down. My people don't leave this world. But you already did, he said. You reached into someone else's world. Mine. She didn't speak. He added, Come with me. We'll find a place where you don't have to hide. Where people learn what your hair really means. She stepped forward, wrapped one long glowing strand around his hand, then whispered, Where you go, I will follow. Final scene. The ship hovered above the jungle. Tyler and Lyra stood at the edge of the clearing. Her hair moved like silk in the wind, wrapping gently around her arms and trailing behind her. The crew aboard the rescue ship gasped when they saw her, but Tyler simply nodded. She's with me. They boarded the ship together, one human, one alien, and thousands of memories carried in living strands. As the ship rose into the sky, Lyra looked down at the forest, then closed her eyes and let the past go. The strands followed. A bond had been formed, not by fear, not by force, but by trust, by touch, by choice.